Hello, once again I welcome you back to my YouTube channel. In one of my previous videos, I explained a Kubernetes tool called kubectl AI, which is a form of AI plugins into your Kubernetes that allow you to interact with your Kubernetes cluster using natural language. Similarly, today we are going to be looking at a similar tool, but this time on AWS. And in this video, we are going to be looking at Amazon Q CLI. Of course, Amazon Q has been around for quite a while, which is a generative AI powered assistance for managing or interacting with your AWS platform. With your Amazon Q, you are able to work very smart and you are able to engage and interact with your AWS platform and resources in terms of troubleshooting, fixing issues, bugs, and writing codes. Your Amazon Q is divided to two forms. You can have the Amazon Q developer, and we have that of the business. The developer, as the name implies, is for the DevOps engineer, the cloud engineer, and also the Amazon Q business is, tilted towards business enterprise that allow you to interact with company tools such as Salesforce, such as SharePoint. You can integrate your Amazon Q business with them to enable you to work smart. But sometimes in March 2025, AWS introduced Amazon Q CLI, which is a command line interface that allow you to interact with your AWS platform. And this has been a game changer, I must tell you, because with it, you are able to troubleshoot issues through command line. You are able to interact with your AWS cluster. You can instruct the AI agent to go into your AWS platform and build or provision the resources for you using natural language. So it saves you a whole lot that you don't have to memorize all the commands that are needed to manage or interact with your AWS platform. In this case, you know what to do. You tell the agent in plain language, and the agent will go ahead and execute that process. So in this video, I'm going to be walking you through how to install Amazon Q CLI, and we're going to carry out a couple of basic interactions that you can do or that you can perform with your Amazon Q CLI. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be using an AWS EC2 instance as my terminal. So I'm going to go to my AWS and then have an EC2 instance. We're going to SSH into the instance, and we're going to go ahead and configure our Amazon Q CLI. So let's jump on our AWS platform. So this is my AWS platform, and I have a couple of server running. So, but we are going to be using this last one that says Amazon Q CLI server. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to click on the server. I'm going to grab the IP address, and I'm going to go to my terminal. And the first thing I want to do now is to SSH into the server. So I will do SSH -I, which is main interactive mode. and I will go to where my key pair is, which is home/.ssh, and the name of my key pair is my default key pair.pem, and we have Ubuntu. Ubuntu is the username. Of course, you know that. Let me quickly show you if you didn't know it. If you go to your EC2 instance and you click on connect, if you click on connect, you will see username here, Ubuntu. For Ubuntu machine, the username is Ubuntu, and while for Amazon Linux, the username is EC2 user. So bear that in mind. So I'm going to come back here, go back to my terminal, Ubuntu at then the IP address that I copied earlier, and I'm going to hit enter. It's asking me if I trust it. I will say yes. I'll click enter, and now SSH into the EC2 machine. So I'm going to clear my screen, and anytime you spin up a new EC2 machine, the first thing you want to do is to update the machine. Updating a machine is going to make available to you all the packages on the EC2 instance or on the virtual machine. So I'm going to go ahead and type sudo apt, because this is Ubuntu machine, update, and I'll click enter. So now the update process is ongoing. So while this is running, we are going to go onto our Amazon Q CLI documentation and follow the very short process of installing the Amazon Q CLI on our Ubuntu machine. So I'm going to clear the screen first, and I'm going to go onto my browser. You should see right here, this is the terminal. I think, okay, that's the terminal, that is the documentation right here. And all you just need to click is I'm going to put this link in the comment section. Just if you look at here, just click on the one that says download Amazon Q for CLI for Linux. So you can just click on that one, and it's going to open another page. Then on the left pane, you will see under installing, you will see the one that says with a zip file. So click on it. It's going to take you to the process. So we have different method of installation depending on the architecture of your operating system, of your Linux system. So you want to find out what type of Linux system you have, and that will let you know which of the command that will work for you. So in that case, I will go back to my terminal, and I'm going to check. Let me zoom in a little bit. I'm going to check what architecture is my Linux machine by using the command uname space -m, and I will click enter, and you can see it returns x86-64, meaning the architecture of my Linux machine is x86-64, and that will let me know which of the command I'm going to use, which is the first one here, Linux x86-64. So it's going to be a couple of commands. I think just about 3 of them. Look at it here. The first one here is which is this, and after that we are going to go here to install Amazon Q CLI. We are going to do this. So the first command here will only download the zip file, while the second command here will unzip it, and the third command here will install it. Now, instead of copying this command one after the other, I want us to make it a script so that we can run it. So I'm going to go ahead in my machine. I'm going to create a script. First, I'll clear my screen. I like to clear my screen. I'm going to make a script, and I'll call it VI. The name of the script will be Amazon Q CLI .sh. Okay, I want this a bash script, and I will click enter to create and open the file at the same time. I will click I so that I'll be able to insert, so that I'll be able to put in some text. So I'm going to come here. The first thing here, I'm going to copy the first command here. I'm going to go back to my terminal. Before I put it, I need to initiate this file as a bash script. And how do I do that? I'll put the line shi bang /bin /bash. This has made it what? A bash script. I'll click enter so that I can paste the next command. The command I just pasted now, I've pasted it. Okay, and I will go back here. The next command here is what? Unzip q. We're going to unzip it. So I will go back here and I will paste it. And I will go and copy the third one, which install it, and I'll paste it. So I'll click enter and I'll paste it. Now, if we run this script as it is, it's going to fail because if you look at the second line says we should unzip this file. But on our Ubuntu machine, there's no unzip because it's a brand new machine. Unzip tool is not likely to be present there. So what we are going to do is we need to first install unzip on the machine so that we'll be able to use it. So instead of going back to install it, I will just add that step to install unzip on the computer. I'm going to add it to this script. So I'll just go back to the third line here, and I will just go back here, and I will do zip. Sorry, let me go to the end of this line, and I will click enter. Zip here. So how do we install unzip? That would be sudo apt install unzip. But you know that this unzip is going to ask me for a prompt. It's going to post a prompt asking me if I want to indeed install it on my machine. So to avoid that interruption, I'm just going to add a flag -y, which saying yes, go ahead and install it. So what this will do is the first line here will download the zip file. The second line here will install the unzip tool. The third file will now be able to use the unzip tool to unzip the file, and then the next one will go ahead and install it. So I will go ahead now. I will escape from the file, and I will say save it. Now, if I check the file, if I say ln, you can see this is the file here. We need to make this file executable. As it is now, it's not executable. We need to make it executable. And of course, when you make it executable, the color always change to a green color. So to make it executable, we use the command sudo gmod +x, then the name of the file. Name of the file is I didn't write it well, but it's Amazon. That is what I put there. Amazon Q CLI. So I'm gonna press enter. Now, if I do ll again, you can see the color has changed to green, meaning that it is what? Now executable. So I'm going to clear my screen. And the next thing now is to go ahead and run the file. There are two ways for you, or so many ways to run the file. One of the two ways is you can use /, then the name of the file. Or if you like, if you don't want to do this, you can do sh, then the name of the file, .sh. And you'll be either way, you'll be able to run the file. So let me just use this, and I will click enter, and let us see what we have. Okay, so the file is installing. The first thing it's going to do, you can see it said the following new package, look at it here. The following new package will be installed on zip. That is what that second file will do. So that will unzip, and that is why it will be able to unzip the file. And look at it here, preparing to unpack. Without this unzip tool that was installed, you wouldn't be able to carry out this unpacking zip file. So now everything is installed, and it's asking you now. He wants to install the Q tool, which is the tool for Amazon Q. So it's asking you, do you want to modify the cell? Of course, yes. So I will click what? I will click enter. And now it's asking me, do you want to what? If you say, do you want to modify shell, which I've said yes. It does say I should select the login method. How do I want to log in into this platform, into the Amazon Q CLI platform? So If you have the pro license, you just use your down arrow to move to the next line. You should see it at the bottom, which is the blue line. But of course, I'm using my free builder ID. So I'll just go up and I will click enter. And it's going to provide me with a URL. If you click on that URL, it's going to take you to another tab where you can authenticate. But sometimes it may not open automatically, so we can just copy. We can go ahead and copy the URL. Okay, we'll copy the URL. Let me copy it very well. So we'll go ahead and copy the URL and we'll open another browser. And what we're going to do is we'll place it on the browser and we're going to compare the code generated, maybe it tallies with this one. So let's take note of this code. It says confirm the following code in the browser. So I'm going to take that to the browser. I'm going to open my browser, paste the URL and enter. And if you look at it, look at the code here, DNXP. If you go back to our terminal, that's what we have here, DNXP. So we can go ahead and confirm. So click on confirm and continue. And it's asking you, do you want to allow Amazon Q developer? Which is yes. So you should click allow. You should go back to your terminal now. It's still in the login state. So I will go back and click allow. And if you go back to your terminal, you can see now it's going to tell you you have logged in successfully. So I'm going to clear the screen. And now, ordinarily, we should be able to now begin to interact with our cluster, with our AWS CLI terminal. So, but if I type Q now, you see it's telling me that Q is not installed. That Q is the tool that enables you to interact with the CLI, with the Amazon Q CLI. Now, let me take your attention to something here. If you go back to the documentation, it tells you that by default, the tools are what installed inside this directory. So let's see what we have inside this directory. That is where the tools, the Q CLI tools are installed. So if I go back to my terminal, I'll go back to my terminal now. Let me clear the terminal. And I'm going to cd into this tool. And I'm going to do LL to list the content. And you can see these are all the Q tools. The Q chart, and the Q terms. But the terminal will not be able to find these Q terms because they are in the binary folder instead of being in the environmental folder. So we have to what? Move them into the environment folder. And where is our environment folder? So I'm going to cd out here. Now, let me quickly show you something. Whenever you spin up a terminal, whenever you open a terminal, okay, whenever you open a Linux terminal, by default, automatically a file called bash.rc is executed for Ubuntu, okay, for your Amazon Linux, that might be a different file. So this bash.rc is going to be executed, and inside that file, it will enable you to what to edit or modify the environmental variable. It will allow you to add aliases, as the case may be. So we are supposed to go into this file, and add those Q terms there. Okay, so how do we do that? Two ways. I'm going to clear the screen. We can either VI into that file, VI into the into this file. This is the file. You can VI into it and add, and add this part, and add it to the part, the Q terms to the part. But instead of going through this process, I prefer to use the easier one by just using an echo command to send the part into the file. So I'll just exit out of it. I will clear the screen, and instead of editing the bash script, the bash file itself, which sometimes it's a bit dangerous to do that because you could mistakenly add anything or remove it, I will use the echo method. So I will do echo, and I will export the file I will export path. Okay, path. I want to put the path inside that file. And what is the path that I want to put? The path where my Q terms are. So my Q term is inside what? It's inside the home, command slash Q slash bin. Don't forget they are inside the bin file that I show you. Okay, and they have to be in the path. So this is what you're going to put. Okay, and then don't forget there's another comma here. And what I want to do, I want to move them into what? Which file? The bash file. Okay, I want to move them into. And so this is just the same way of going there and trying to edit and add it. So this is just way just to echo it, and we click enter, and this has automatically added this part. It has automatically added this part into what? Into our bash RC file. So anytime you make a change in the bash RC file, you need to run a command to what? To apply that change. And that command is source, then the file. Source bash RC. When you do this, then the file, all the changes you make will be what? Will be effected. So I will click clear now. And now our Q2 is now available to use. And how do we know that? How to start out, you start by saying Q chart. And so you can see we are welcome to Amazon. So Amazon Q, and that is where we are now. So we are now in the Amazon Q platform. Now there are so many things that we can do with this platform. If you look right up here, it says /F for all command, Ctrl+J for new line, Ctrl+S plus fuzzy search. Okay, so the first thing I want to do now is let us use /F to see what command we can do here. Okay, you can see there are a lot of stuff that we can do, /clear to clear all the history conversation. So this is just like the man page that tells you what and what you can do with the command. Now, we can now go ahead and interact with this command. I can tell you, hello. You're going to be interacting with natural language and it's going to answer you. Hello. You can see now it says it's thinking. And say, hello, how can I help you today? I'm Amazon Q, your AI assistant for AWS and software development tasks. Feel free to ask me about AWS services, coding question, or any technical assistance you might need. Isn't this wonderful? So now let's begin to interact with it, but I know there's going to be a problem. The first thing I want you to do now, I want you to list all the EC2 instances that are running in my AWS. But there's a problem because we have not authenticated our platform with our AWS account. There must be, now what I've just signed into now is the AWS CLI, but I have not given the CLI permission to interact with my AWS platform, my AWS account. So there's going to be a need for authentication. But for us to do that, okay, let me just ask that question and it's going to tell me there's going to be an error. Let me just say, list all my EC2 instances. Okay, you can see now. List execution failed, unable to span command. So it's trying now. It's going to try everything he used. So he's trying to use this command now. He said, I will run the following shell command. He's trying to run this command. And look at the action. Allow this action. If I trust it, I will press T. Or if I just want to use yes or no, let me use T because I trust it. I will click enter. Let us see what it's going to do. Now, the terminal discovered that I have not authenticated. Look at it. It said, it looked like the AWS CLI is not installed or not in your system part. To list this, you need to install CLI. So because I need, don't forget this is just Amazon Q CLI. So I need to authenticate with my AWS account. And before I can do that, I need to have my AWS CLI. Okay. So it's telling me that I don't have it. And it's giving me an help. It says, will you like me to help you install and configure AWS CLI? Yes, of course. I want you to do that. Yes. Go ahead. Now let us see. I will help you install this. You can see now. Can you see how this is just a game changer? So I don't have to memorize in my head how to. You can see it's installing AWS CLI right away. So let us see after installing, maybe we can just go ahead and use it. So it's installing AWS CLI. So I don't have to go now begin to look for the command and look for this and look for that. I just tell it in plain natural language, and it's going to look for the appropriate key. You can see it's thinking now. Let us see. Okay, still running it. So let's see what we have. This is just so beautiful, you know. And sometimes I begin to get afraid of what the discovery of the AI of what is going to happen. It's creating virtual environment, creating share libraries, upgrading share libraries, installing AWS CLI. Let us see if it's going to let's see doing it. Now it says completed in 34 seconds. It said installed package. Now everything that is installed is telling me now. It says now let's configure AWS CLI. You will need to provide your AWS credential. Can you see that? Because it has made an attempt to get all my EC2 machine, but it found out that there is no authentication between the platform and my AWS account. So, and it knows that before I can do that, I need the CLI. So he offered to install CLI for me, which I gave the permission. Now CLI has been installed, and he wants to go ahead now and configure my I'm going to authenticate into that platform now. So for me to authenticate, I can provide my access key and secure access key and ask it to go ahead and install it. But I don't want to do that for security purpose. I always prefer to use the export command. The export command allow you to authenticate with your credential without saving your credential on the computer. So if you use the export command, export, this is not the platform to use it. You have to be in your EC2 command line, and I'm going to show you that. So if you use the command, so I want to do that myself because I don't want to provide my credential to AI, okay, for security purpose. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to quit the AI, and I'm going to go and configure my AWS authentication. So and how do I quit? You use /quit. /quit will take me back to the Ubuntu. You can see I'm inside my Ubuntu now. I'm going to clear the 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 screen. But before I quit, I want to do something. Let me go back. Q chat again. I'll go back to Q chat because I have come out of it, and I will ask, give me the export command to authenticate my credentials. It's going to provide the export command. You can see it's giving me the format, so that I can just go ahead and use. So I'm going to copy it. I'm going to copy the command. I don't need all of that. I only need 2 of them. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to quit. I'll clear the screen, and I'll go ahead and authenticate. I'll just paste this here, and I'll provide all the information. So I'll go to my account. I'll get my access key. I'll put it here. I'll get my secret access key. I will put it here. And it's asking me for the token. I don't need this one. You can see it says only needed for temporary credential. I don't need that. I'll take this away, okay? And it says default region. Yeah, I can use the default region. So for my default region, I'm going to use US East 1. That is my default region, US East 1. And for my session, I don't need that. Okay, for my session here, sorry. For my session here, I will just comment it out because I don't want it. Okay, I'll just comment it out. I don't need that. Then I will now go and provide my access key and secret access key. So I'm going to pause the video and do it because I don't want you to see my credential for security purpose. So I'm going to do it and then I will come back immediately I do that. I'll just pause the video, provide here, I'm going to put my secret access key, something like that, and I will come here too and put my access key. You know how to do that. So I will just pause the video, do it, and I will come back. So welcome back. So now I've authenticated into my access key and secret access key. So now I can go back into my terminal, into my Q CLI by doing Q chart, and now I'm back. And let me see, confirm if my credentials are. I hope it's not going to post my credential out. Let us see. It's running it. Yes, he said, this is confirmed that your ACL is properly configured with valid credential. And he gave me my account number. This is my AWS account number, and this is the account that is there. So I said, yes, your AWS credential are authenticated. You are currently logging as this person. So now that I'm authenticated, we can now go ahead and ask question. So now I'm going to repeat that whole question, asking it to list all my EC2 instances. List all EC2 instances in my account. See. Okay, it's working. It's going to first list it in detail, and it's going to give me all the instances. You can see here are the summary of all your EC2 instances. You can see, and I'm going to go ahead and show you. You can see the first one is GitLab runner. He gave me the ID, he gave me the instance size, he gave me the status that is running, he gave me the IP address and the private IP address, and also tell me which region, which availability zone. This is the second one, this is the third server, this is the third one, these are the stop one, this instance is stopped, and this one is terminated. Okay, and if you go back there, you can see how many, you can see GitHub runner, Ubuntu server, Amazon CLI server, and of course, Jenkins and SonarQube server are stopped. Why one of the Amazon CLI is terminated. And of course, if you go back to my terminal, you're going to see everything like that here. If I go back to my EC2 instance and I click on all, you can see it exactly what I have. This is terminated. 3 are running. Jenkins and SonarQube are all stopped. And that is exactly what this is giving me here. So I'm going to go ahead again. And of course, it's even saying all instances has this VPC, and they are what? And they have this key pair. I'm going to go ahead and asking it to, okay, you can see this one is running. Which one is running now? The GitLab runner is running. The Ubuntu server is running, okay, here. So I'm going to tell it to go and stop this Ubuntu server and start the Jenkins server. Let us see. Could you start the Jenkins? Look at it. Could you start the Jenkins and stop the Ubuntu server I'm copying the name. Could you start the Jenkins and stop the Ubuntu server? Enter. So now, I will help you start the Jenkins instance and stop the Ubuntu server. Let me do that for you. Now, it's going to generate the appropriate command and it's going to perform that action for you. So it's asking me if I trust it. Yes, I trust it. I'll click T and it's performing the magic. Let's see. Run the AWS CLI command. I have successfully processed both requests. Okay, now let us see. It said, would you like me to verify the status of the instances? Yes. While that is done, let us go and check. Now I'm going to refresh. And you can see it, the Jenkins server is started and the Ubuntu server is stopped. Can you imagine it? Look at it here. The Jenkins server has started running and the Ubuntu server is stopping. And let us see if it's able to find it. Yeah, it's giving me the instance here. So let's assume you want to create, let's say, this one I'm just going to create it, but I'm not going to run it. I'm going to ask it to help me generate a template to create a server. Okay, I'm saying, help me generate, a template to create a 3-tier a React as front end. Okay, React as front end. And let's say React as front end. Let's say Java as back end and SQL. My SQL, sorry, and my SQL as the database. As a database. I want to provision it in the US East one. Use Terraform. Let us see. I know there's no Terraform on the machine, but let us see what it's going to do. It said here is the tail. You can see it. Started building it. So it said here is the comprehensive. Look at it at the top. Here is a comprehensive template that set up this architecture, and it's writing it. So what I'm just trying to show you here is that these tools, even though it is that one must exercise a little bit of caution, and you cannot over reliant on this machine or on this tool, but you can integrate them into your day-to-day activities that will help you to work smart, to work fast, and will help you do troubleshoot and solve a lot of problems. If you have an idea, provide it and see what you can do. And this is important because sometimes you have an idea, you don't know what to do about it. This type of tool will come ahead and help you, okay? But overall, you must know what you are doing so that you'll be able to troubleshoot, because these tools are liable to error, and they are as good as the data that train them, okay? So this is what I intend to discuss with you today. I believe you have learned one of good thing. I'm going to add all the necessary information, the installation step, in the comment section. Please go ahead and try it out. It's such a wonderful tool. And make sure you tear down the resources after you have used it so that you don't incur any cost. I think it's just still free as long as you did not use any license model. So I hope you love this. Please, if you like it, kindly subscribe and like this channel so that it can get to other people who can benefit from it, and so you can also receive notification anytime a new video is uploaded. I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.